Hey, Training Pain here. It is right after the Hawaiian Ironman. I feel fantastic. Before I get into my race report, I want to say to Alice that I apologize for being such an idiot and a-hole over the last week. And I won't apologize to Reed
Thank you.
because he's a kid and he deserves to get abused. Okay, so how'd the race go? As you can tell, I look really great. I'm going to start with the swim. First of all, I was lucky to get in on time. I'll go into more explanation on the blog, but I forgot my timing chip and barely got into the numbering quick enough before the cutoff, so they almost didn't have a number for me. So got in the water, and this was kind of cool. We're at the front, the horn goes off, and I just remember saying, it is Ironman go time. Let's do this. Yeah! And hit the water, and it was just throwing haymakers and everything else. Best fight I've ever been in the water. I have to say, I have something that I don't think too many people who have done a triathlon have ever got. I got kicked in the nuts. No, figure that one out, how you get kicked in the nuts in the water. But I did. So the swim, I drafted off some people, which was great. And, you know, once I got into it, I gave it the best I had, but didn't go too hard. Then when I got on the bike, got out of the water onto the bike, I wasn't feeling it. About first 10 miles in, I just didn't have the legs, and my butt was killing me from mile 10. I don't even know why. And by mile 30, 20-30, I was just starting to, you know, not get into it, and I thought the pressure might have been just, you know, like trying to get it over, and then I just kept thinking, no way, man, this is for the people who read the blog. And it helped transform me, and I figured, you know what, I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to treat it like a good training ride and really try to enjoy the entire experience. That was the goal from the beginning. So rode up to Hawaii. The winds really picked up. There was about a 7 mile in, 7 mile back where it was so severe that bikes were tilted on the side. I was going down the hill once and it caught my front wheel and I thought I was over. So it was a kind of a frightening experience. For about those 14 miles total, 14 or 16, I was doing a lot of self-talk and saying, no way, I'm not getting blown off the bike. If anyone is, it's not going to be me. So got in through the bike again. The whole time my butt was killing me. Get off the bike. I never had this problem before, but I didn't think I could run. My butt cheeks were so sore. And so I had to run through the transition. It's really long. And I got through, and somehow it loosened up, and I started my run. And for the first, I don't know, 5-10K, I was running great, running about a 5 minute per kilometer. And it was hot, and I figured, you know, just keep going. And then eventually I started slowing down, and I just didn't have it in my legs. But the strangest part was mentally, this was a really tough race physically, but mentally I've never felt so great, you know, during the whole race. And whenever I get into a tough situation, I just kept thinking of everyone who reads the blog, and really drew the energy from those people, from all of you, and just it seemed to really help. So the run is hot, it's brutal. Many times you want to stop, but I forced myself not to, and I only stopped to walk through the run stations. I had that tracking device, and I figured if I had stopped, you guys would be going crazy. So I found out later it wasn't working too well, but hey, c'est la vie. So the last 6 miles, got to the energy lab, and I decided I'm going to make this the Celebration 6. And my whole mental state was, for the next 6 miles, I was going to think of all the great things in my life and what I'm thankful for. And that took about 3 miles. And then for the following 3 miles, 5K, I thought, well, what should I do here? And it came to me like this. And I said, I'm going to I know that my blog followers, and during the bike, I visualized each and every one of you. When it got tough that one time, I looked and I went through everyone who's ever left a comment, just thought of them. And for the last 5K, I thought, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pretend I'm them, and if they were here right now, what would they do? And every athlete, it's an out and back, every athlete that was running, I would send well wishes. Good job, keep it up, you're looking great. So I felt incredible. It felt like I had this incredible energy. And that continued right to the finish. And then as I was coming into town and there was people cheering, I was giving the salutes and thanking them and just doing all that fun stuff. I saw Sonia there and Michelle, they cheered me on as I ran by. And then when I got to the end, Alice handed me, I had a prop beer glass that is really cool, and a Canadian flag, and I ran and I kept going, and now it's beer time, and the crowd really loved it. And it was just the best energy. When I crossed that line, I felt terrific. Again, physically, my legs, everything were trashed. You know what, I'm most thankful? I had a decent day. You know, I didn't have a good race, like a knock it out of the ballpark race, but I had a decent race. You know, my bike time was decent, my run time was decent, and my swim was decent. And more importantly, I treated this as a complete celebration, and the whole goal was to finish. I did it with a respectable time, and you know, I just drew the energy like I've never felt this incredible after a race. There was times I was starting to tear up when I was thinking of the people, you know, that I know personally through the blog, and just the spirit that they have. And and I've got a whole bunch of other stuff that I'm going to mention on the blog, some things that obviously come to you when you're doing 26 miles or 112 mile bike rides. Little funny things, but that was my race. It was terrific. Couldn't have asked for any more. Feel terrific. My legs are starting to get a little tight, oh, and I saw Ian on the run a couple times. We gave the high five and saw him after him before, so it was a great experience. It's been absolutely wonderful, and I finished without having to get a glow stick. So 22 years has went by since my last one, and I'm 22 years older, and I finished 2 hours quicker, so I can't complain. And again, more will be on the blog. So thanks a lot, and this is for you, and thanks for the energy.